Guns up, Poke fans. It's time for PokeCast. Broadcasting live at Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, located at 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles. Now, here's your host, Jim Gazzolo.
Welcome back to another Wednesday night at Mr. Bill's. It's basketball season. Women's basketball coach Lynn Kennedy tonight. Also, Will Wade of the men's team from Mr. Bill's. Want to thank MAF for once again sponsoring this event and our sponsors. Coach, what did you think of Media Day yesterday? Are you in the full swing of basketball already?
I think we're back in it. Yeah, it was nice to be back out there and talking basketball, and I thought they put on a great event. You know, the studio set up at the casino resort was nice, and you know, just to interact with other coaches and talk basketball. I love it.
They could have given us a $100 card instead of $50 card to play the slots.
But they had to talk about the gambling though too, so you can't do both.
Can't do that. Can't do that. Okay, lots of moving parts on your team as much as anybody else. Lots of changes, but you kind of changed the direction of how you were recruiting this year. You went to you have a lot of freshmen. You went younger. You didn't go really with the portal like before. What's the difference? You know,
I think we looked at the portal last year, and you know, we had a couple players that stepped up for us, but overall, we went back to recruiting high school players. We went, looked at the region, looked at local high school across Southwest Louisiana. We're in the mix for 2 of the top 3 players in Louisiana. We're looking at the highest level. And then we looked, more regionally. We got a couple players from Houston, a couple players from Oklahoma. But yeah, we did go back to that high school level and trying to get more elite players to come in and contribute right away. And I just like our mix this year a lot better. You can see with our team chemistry. And I think a lot of that has to do with, the experience we have coming back. We did get a couple of transfers coming in that have played at a high level, and then we did get some freshmen just to kind of give a new perspective and some fresh energy on our team. And I love our chemistry right now. I know we haven't played any games and we haven't named starters, but, again, I love our chemistry. They're doing things on the court, off the court together, and that's what you want as a team, especially early on.
And once again, like every week, if you have a question for Coach, raise your hand. We'll get a microphone out to you, and you can ask. The microphone is right here. Oh, they're going to come up to the microphone this time. You have to walk up to the microphone this time.
It's a walk up, I guess.
Apparently, some of the people that work around Michael and them are getting a little lazy.
It's called an open mic.
Getting a little lazy in the past couple of weeks. How's that? Okay, Coach, one of the things that you talked a lot about was getting more athletic.
Yeah.
Do you like the athleticism of this team? Because talking to you yesterday at the media day, you seem to really like this team.
I do. I didn't like our pace a lot of games. We were better in the half court, but I didn't like our pace. I didn't like our speed. We are a tempo team. I want to get up and down the court. I want to be entertaining. I want fans to love how we play and just the athleticism and the length that we have. At times last year we weren't that team. It was almost like we had to find a way to win a lot of times last year, and I think this year has changed. It's going to be tough for teams to match up. We were just talking about it today as a coaching staff. Once we get it correct and everybody's on the same page, execution-wise, it's going to be hard to stop us. We've got a lot of options. We're really a tall team. 10 of our 14 are over 6 feet tall, but we're athletic, we're fast. It's not a matter of being in shape or conditioning this year. We have that athleticism and that speed and that tempo to get up and down the court and play full court defense, play half court defense, really aggressive, be intense, and then on the offensive side, just be hard to guard, with the speed and tempo, create fast break opportunities. We didn't get that last year. We didn't have a lot of times where we had easy baskets or easy transition points. This year I think we do, and that opens up your outside. We always talk about tempo, spacing, timing, those types of things within our execution on offense, and you can see that now with the team that we have and the ability to use all 5 positions.
You guys like to go up tempo. You like to use 10 players.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
When you have this and you're going to be using freshmen, are you going to stay with rotational stuff, or are you going to have to do some things around that to see how they fit in?
It's probably going to be a mix, and I think that's why, I love our schedule, because we'll be able to, try different lineups, and we're doing that now. I mean, we as you know, with our practices, we scrimmage a lot, and so we're able to see different players and how they're playing together, and just see the different mixes, and it's been nice to kind of change things up. And we added a couple new point guards too as well, and that was one of the areas that we were looking at heavily as far as just creating tempo with our. We'd have a lot of turnovers last year, so cutting back on that, but just getting our tempo with our point guards and getting them used to what we're doing on the court, and you can see the difference, how we play and just the speed and tempo that we have.
Strange year last year with you guys because you went on the road early to play big schools, and half your team got sick.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So you never really got any rhythm almost until Christmas or even after.
Right.
But Christina Gill being hurt also affected you. How is she back this year? How do you feel about that, and what difference does she make?
She makes a huge difference for us, just having her go down in that first game, and then, like you said, we had that long road trip. Everyone was sick. We really didn't get in a flow until, I don't know, maybe second or third week of conference season, where we got kind of back healthy, and then we had a couple more injuries. So it was a weird year last year, and I'm ready to put that in the past. Chris, she had surgery in the off season, and I think she's back probably 85-90%, but she's getting to the point where she's feeling confident again, and when she gets going, she's kind of that X factor for us because she can knock down shots, she can get to the basket, and she provides a speed and a tempo that we want, especially at that point guard position. Defensively, she's been picking it up, and it's been nice too because she's kind of that veteran, experienced player that we need, especially with those younger players. So she's able to talk them through things and help them as far as catching up on our strategy and what we want to do on the court.
Still, with all of everything that happened last year, you were a rebound away from beating Southeastern, a rebound maybe away from going to the finals of the conference tournament.
Yep.
You didn't seem to be that far away.
We weren't, but we were far away. I mean, just watching the tape, I mean, we won some games we probably shouldn't have won, and we were in games that we, were there right at the end, like you said, a rebound away from, potentially being in the championship game, and who knows what's going to happen on our home court. So, we can't look too much at that, but I think that we are close. I think that we had opportunities last year. I will say this team's going to play hard. I mean, we can see that differently now with this team. We're on the court, we're scrapping, we're diving for loose balls, we're blocking out. It's a different feel. And last year I think we had some times where we didn't play that hard, and we just try to use our talent to get by, and as you can't do that, and it doesn't pay off, especially in the end. So I do like the change that we have in our attitude and our work ethic and just our team energy and attitude. You can see it's a big difference.
So it's all about chemistry right now.
I think so. As coaches, you want to go through the preseason and see how the team chemistry is. And I loved we were able to get away this year on a team retreat and kind of take a couple days and get away and talk team things that really helped us solidify us as a team and the goals that we have as a team. I think that was different this year. We hadn't had that the last 2 years. But I think just the experience we have coming back, almost the hunger and the motivation to get back to where we were last year and to take that next step to be one of those teams in the top of the conference. I think that was kind of the motivational factor in the goal setting that we had this year, and you can see that. But they're doing things on the court, off the court. They're together, and it's not. A lot of times as coaches, you want them to do those things, but you don't want to be the person that instigates it because a lot of times it's not real. I think it's real with our team because they're doing it on their own. They're having international dinner nights where they're creating all these different dinners from different countries, and they're having a lot of fun with it. And as coaches, you just sit back and smile, and you hope that carries over to the games.
And this year, completely different schedule as far as starting this season. You play a lot of home games, got a multi-team event coming up. But also you start with what's becoming an annual thing for you, the Chuck E. Cheese game, as I call it, where you bring the grammar school kids in and sell out the arena. What's that like?
I think it's a great event. I think our marketing team does a great job of promoting it. Heath gets out in the community and talks to the schools about getting here, and I think they're adding another grade this year. I think last year was only 5th grade. They're adding 4th grade this year. I think it's going to be a sellout. Bring your earplugs. It's a lot of fun. It's very, very loud.
Earplugs.
Yeah, very, very loud. But I think, overall, I think it's great for the community because a lot of times this is their first exposure to McNeese. They're coming on campus. They're seeing the legacy They're seeing a win. They get the feel of what it would be like to come back to a game, and you hope that they get that energy and that excitement from McNeese, not only in athletics but also across campus, and maybe they'll come back as athletes, but maybe they'll just come as students too someday. So it's kind of their first look and first exposure to McNeese, and I think it's been a great event, and our players love it. I mean, they get so hyped up for that game. I know it's at 11 a.m., but we practice at 5:30, so it's actually they get to sleep in that day. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm excited for this year and just to have the event. And like you said, I really like our schedule, especially with the 10 home games, to be in the Legacy, to kind of get our confidence
get a
going
little
into
rhythm
conference.
going.
Yeah, getting a little rhythm. It was tough last year, as you said, and so this year we just revamped that. I think the multi-team event is a nice thing, as far as getting our net up there. We're going to play Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Mississippi Valley State, and ULM. So to get some mid-major teams to come to our arena to play us here, to get those 3 games at home. And then, we get Tarleton State, UAPB after Christmas. And then we step out and we play, 3 top 25 teams. One's going to be the number 1 team in the nation. And I think it's an exposure we need to play those types of teams. We did that last year, and I think when we were healthy, against the Ole Miss last year, we were up 9 in the second quarter. It's a 2-possession game against Texas Tech in the fourth quarter. So we could play against those teams last year. We need to take that next step and really compete all 4 quarters and prove that we can play in the postseason.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you about the MTE, because do you use that kind of as at least a teaching skill for what you can do in the tournament, because you're playing so many games back to back to back, and it's kind of an opportunity for you to kind of show them what it's going to be like to win a tournament?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's one of the things we'll talk about as far as playing those 3 games back to back to back. You want to be one of those top 2 seeds in our tournament, but if you're not, you have a chance to win and win early and then keep that momentum going to the next night. And just the transition from day to day, you're going to be changing scouting reports the next day. You've got that early morning shoot around, you've got to talk about scouting report, you've got the tape review, and then you've got to go play the game. So it is a lot like a tournament bracket type of situation that we'll face in the postseason. And I think especially for a young team, it's going to be nice to go through that. And we've got a couple other situations in December where, we'll play, a team, and then we'll play 2 nights later, and then we'll play a back-to-back game. So we've got a couple opportunities where we can talk about that going into conference play.
Besides the freshmen, because we'll get into the freshmen after the break, but who's some of the people returning besides Christine that you're kind of leaning on this year as far as teaching the kind of your philosophy through, but also have kind of stepped up in the offseason?
I think Claire's been dealing with some injuries, but she's kind of one of those veteran voices that we have that can. She's on the sideline right now, but she's actually that extra person out there just talking about the strategy that we have, the sets that we run, and trying to help the freshmen and the transfers through that. So it's been nice to have her kind of step up in that leadership role too. Chris, like you said, she's been a great, as far as getting more healthy, but a kind of a great person to have as far as on the sideline and on the court to help our freshmen and our transfers out. Yespes is playing really well. I mean, she's probably the most improved player from last year. There's not many players that are 6'2", athletic, that have a motor, that work hard. I mean, she can go for 40 minutes. Now, we got to keep her out of foul trouble. That's her thing. She fouls every time that she goes for a rebound, but she's going for rebounds. She's flying around. She's like today, she probably was on the court, like on the floor, like probably 10 times in her first 10 minutes. And we're like, yes, Bess, take it easy. You can play hard and not foul. And so we're trying to help her through it. But probably our most improved returner this year coming back. But it's gonna be a mix, and I talked about it yesterday, but it's gonna be really a team effort for us. We don't have the one player that's gonna average 20 or 30 points a game, and we want 4 or 5 in double figures. We want 6 or 7 that are close in scoring. We talk a lot about using all 5 positions, and we really do. I mean, it's at one of our scrimmages today. I mean, it looked sharp. I mean, we were cutting, we were screening. I mean, the posts were taking their time, finding players, and it looked completely different than last year, where it was kind of a scramble, and then we go to maybe one-on-one basketball. It's not going to happen this year.
Yeah, and you like to press.
We do, and I think we can get out more. We've added in a couple extra presses this year that we didn't have in last year, and I think you're going to see a lot of changing it up as far as, person-to-person full, half court. We can run our zone. We can play full court, pressure up defense. We can go person to back into zone. We can go zone back into person. And we do mix it up a lot, those that have watched us play. So I think you'll see a lot of more strategy as far as who we play, and a lot more relying on our scout too.
When we come back after the break, we'll talk to Coach Kennedy about the freshmen, the conference, and what he's learned the first 2 years in the Southland. After this, on the McNeese PokeCast.
Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, located at 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles, is locally owned and operated. Don't forget to check out Mr. Bill's Seafood Express daily lunch specials Monday through Friday. Mr. Bill's Seafood Express also has live music every Thursday and Saturday night. Chad Poussaint and Jason Guillory, the owners of Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, proudly support the McNeese Cowboys. Mr. Bill's Seafood Express, 500 East McNeese Street in Lake Charles, says, "Go Pokes!"
The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Keelan Construction. Keelan Construction is South Louisiana's leading vertical and horizontal general contractor. Keelan courageously pursues complex challenges to advance further the life and culture of our staff and the communities we serve. And also brought to you by Southwest Beverage. Rooted in the community of Southwest Louisiana since 1954, Southwest Beverage has been a family-owned and operated business for 3 generations. Bud Light and Southwest Beverage has been a loyal supporters of McNeese State University for over 30 years by providing athletic scholarships as well as scholarships for students. We pride ourselves on being the premier beverage supplier in Southwest Louisiana and will continue to be here for many years to come. Thank you for your support of our brands and McNeese Athletics, and as always, go Pokes!
We're back. Lynn Kennedy is our guest for Mr. Bill's across from campus and right down the street from the soon-to-be Heath Schwartz statue, I call it, on campus here, that they're going to probably get it one day. He's in here, so you got to give him credit. If you don't, then he doesn't pay the bills. You know how that is. Coach, a lot of questions about your first 2 years here.
Yep.
What did you learn about the conference? What do you think you've changed? Did you have to adapt a little bit, and anything in particular?
I think a little bit of both. I think it's a competitive conference. I think there's really good coaches. I think that we had to adjust, our speed and athleticism this year. I love our length though, because we keep our length that we want, especially on the defensive end. The intensity pressuring up, especially in our zone too, just to be a longer zone. So we keep our length, but we add the athleticism to, just to come up against some of those teams that we play. And like you said, though, we're close. I mean, you could see it last year. Even the first year, we had opportunities to play against the top teams in our conference. And last year, we had a couple rebounds away, and we probably beat them. So we're close, but I love where we're at as a program and the steps we've taken. When you look at the last couple of years, to have, I think it's like the combined last 2 years, it's been most wins in 6 years. To have the first tournament win in 6 years, you're taking the steps, but now we need to take that next step and be one of those teams that can compete for a championship, and we want to take our place back.
Are you surprised at how much teams want to beat McNeese? Because when they beat you, it's a big deal to them, even no matter what the record.
I think McNeese is the rival, and I've had it throughout. Everybody. Yeah, I think it's everybody, and I've had it throughout my career too. I think it's just the way that we, run our program and show up to games and go about our business too. It becomes teams want to beat you, and that's fine. I mean, we would take it. We want the bullseye. We want to be that team. We want everybody's best game, and we get it. We get everybody's best game, and that's okay. We'll take that, and especially when you become the top team in the conference, you're going to get those games anyway, so it doesn't change.
Now you have 9 newcomers.
Yep.
But 5 freshmen.
Yep.
Tell us about the freshmen as a group, first of all, because you did say at the end of last year you wanted to go more athletic. Mm-hmm. You wanted to find some people that had some height, had some physicality, because it's a very physical league.
It is.
Did you think you accomplished all that?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. We one of our post players Daniela from Houston, she's going to have to redshirt this year, academic redshirt. So she was going to provide a little bit of power post mentality for us, but she'll have to academic redshirt. But as far as our other 4 players, the freshman players, they come in, they've all won at the highest levels in high school. They provide length, athleticism, a desire to win. That's what they fell in love with our program. And when they visited McNeese, just our community support, the environment that we had in the legacy, and just our winning attitude and what we're going to bring as far as this next year. So putting them in, I think they fit in well with our system defensively and offensively. It'll be a great mix for us. But can't wait to see them on the court that first game.
If you have a question for Coach, you have to actually come up to the mic this time. Just state your name. Open mic night.
Open mic
yes.
night.
State your name and your question.
Hello, Coach.
Hello.
Step up.
Step up. McNeese class of 1971. I've been around a long time.
Love it.
I'm a dinosaur, all right? Seen the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty, the
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
This year, your conference format, you're going to where the girls will be playing by themselves twice a week, and then a doubleheader once. Am I right about that?
We're going to do Thursday night for the women's basketball, and then Saturday will be a doubleheader, and then the men are going to go on Monday.
Oh, there's not something earlier in the week, or maybe
No.
that's the men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Men will go Monday.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like to set up to see how we're going to do attendance-wise with just the
Yeah,
girls.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. I think it's. I love it whenever we can put our team at the 7 o'clock slot and see what kind of fans we can get to the game. I think, winning does help. You'll get the fans when you win.
Absolutely.
So, hopefully we win early. Fans will love seeing us play, and they'll come out that Thursday night. We can bring it, and then the doubleheader on Saturday will be great too as well.
Good deal. Go Pokes.
All right, go Pokes.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. So you like the 7 o'clock start?
I do. I mean, I think the Thursday night game, will be nice, just to put our team. I love having the doubleheaders with the men too as well. But anytime you can get a 7 o'clock game or 5:30 or 6:30 game, and it's just the women's basketball game, I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it does bring some attention. It kind of gives you a night to shine alone.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think we've got 2 really good teams this year with the men's team and then our team, and it'll be nice to showcase both teams on separate nights.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because a lot of that for the men was done to get better highlights, to get better exposure,
Sure, yeah.
and to get better referees.
Sure.
I won't ask you about the referees in your third year here. How's that?
Well, supposedly we have 50 in the Tier 1. I don't know how they did that, so we'll see.
I would question some of those.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about the conference in general. You mentioned about the whole thing, but who do you see as a lot of experience coming back? Who do you think is going to be there? And you said yesterday that 1 through 10, you think it's extremely competitive and deep.
I think so, yeah. I think, of course, you look at Southeastern and Corpus Christi's got a couple 7-year players that are coming back.
Yeah,
so I don't know how that happens, but I think they're still doing the red shirt and COVID and maybe an academic too. I don't know, but and then Lamar's one of those teams that are they're in the hunt too. So I think we're right there too as well. I think that the top 5, top 6 have a chance, and I think competitive. It's a tough conference to play on the road, as we all know, because you got to travel a little bit, play in tough environments. So anything can happen any night, and I think you saw that the last couple of years on the women's side. 1 through 8, 1 through 10 is really competitive. You could lose one of those games, so you've got to bring it every night. I feel like we faced everybody's best the last 2 years, and so we welcome that. Going into this year, even though we'll be a younger team, we're excited about the challenges and the opportunities that we face. In the conference season, opening up. First 2 on the road. Let's go. Let's do it.
What do you think about obviously getting a chance to play the number 1 team in the country, LSU, their NIL?
Yeah.
They're making a lot of money.
Yeah, they are.
You gonna ask anyone for loans or? But
I might have to.
Playing a program like that, and what have they done for women's basketball and kind of the exposure they've given the whole sport?
Well, I mean, just Coach Mulkey overall has done so much for women's basketball at everywhere she's been, even during her collegiate days. So I think just having her come to LSU and just putting them back on the top, program in the nation says a lot about Louisiana basketball, this region, SEC basketball too as well. So, when we do our non-conference schedule and we have our guarantee games, we want to play the best. And we even did that for next year too. We're playing 2 of the top 25 teams as well as next year. So Baylor's going to be a top 25 team. Kansas State will probably be the top 15 or top 10, and then LSU will be number 1 probably in the nation when we play them. So in order to make that next step, you've got to be able to compete against these teams. Before I came, I think we were losing by 95, 100 points to these teams. Last year we lose 18.
There was some of that, yes.
Yeah, we lose by 18 and 19. We're in the game. We're up 9 against Ole Miss. We're right there against Texas Tech. We did have a tough road trip earlier on when everybody was sick, but we're right there and we're competing against top 25 teams. So now we need to take the next step and really come out. We have the mentality if we're going in to win. LSU is going to be tough, but to compete against them all 4 quarters, to showcase McNeese on a national stage, that's what we want to do.
Realistically, though, if you make the NCAA tournament, that's a possible first-round game for you.
It could be.
So you get that kind of atmosphere out of the way so you won't be in awe of it maybe later on.
Don't tell anybody, but one of the other reasons why I scheduled them is maybe we don't see them later. Because on the women's side, they usually don't put teams that have played each other early in the season. But we'll see. To have that opportunity, we would take it. We'll play anybody. Yeah.
But that is kind of, you'll be in that kind of an atmosphere.
It is, yeah. You're playing against those teams.
Yeah, the women's game isn't like the men's where you go out.
Nope.
You are playing on the road.
You're playing on the road.
You're a lower seed.
You're playing in that environment, and you want to step up in that moment. So you want to have played in that environment earlier in the season. Yeah.
The conference, having the conference tournament here, obviously for the next 7 years.
Yep.
Is a great opportunity. Have you been able to use it as a recruiting tool?
We do. We talk about it with all the recruits, and to have, the tournament, the games, to get to the NCAA tournament on your home court, I mean, that's special, and we've got to take advantage of that. And, I thought we did that last year. We were right there, and I thought the conference did a great job of trying to make it a neutral site. They, all the tape on the floor and the banners and everything, but we still get the same routine. We still get to sleep on our beds, and that's nice to have. And again, we've got to go out and play those games and take advantage of it.
Do you get kicked out of your locker room?
We did. We actually did the second game. The first game we had it. The second game we got kicked out, and that's motivation to get to one of those top seeds.
Do you know talking to some people in the league yesterday, they were talking about the fact that the teams are saying let McNeese have their locker room.
Oh, they were?
Because they don't want you to use it as bulletin board material.
Oh, okay.
So you make it your whole locker room the whole time anyway.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
With the setup now being Thursday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Are you worried not just your place, but there's going to be some other places where women don't draw very well at all? You got to kind of reinvent your energy in some of those places. Is that a concern, or is that a big issue?
No, I don't think so. I think we witnessed that last year. Some places draw pretty well, and then some don't, and so you've got to be able to show up for a game and have that motivation as a team with or without a crowd, whether you're on the road or you're at home. And we definitely have the best crowd. I mean, not even close. With our community support and fans. So we've got to be able to take some of that energy and that intensity that we have at home and take it on the road. And we've been able to do that for the most part. I think we've competed on the road. We've won some big games on the road. This year will be a little bit different, though, on that Thursday night game. And we've got to be able to play our game on those nights. And then, hopefully on Saturday when we do have the doubleheaders, there'll be a little bit of atmosphere and they can see the Cowgirls play their best ball.
Talking to the kids around the conference that aren't at McNeese.
Right.
You actually get a target on your back because they love playing there, because it's one time they get an atmosphere, they play in an arena that's that good.
Yep.
How do you combat that?
For us, we really can't worry about that, just to see, especially the first year, to see teams celebrate like they won the conference championship or the national championship, and jumping up and down. But we've got to be able to just come out and play our game and not worry about that. And you take care of it by winning the games at home. And so we've got to be at that level every night.
Yeah, but they were undefeated when they did that
right.
to you.
It is what it is.
It was all of a sudden like they won the championship or something, and it was mid-season.
I think they won by one. So
they won by 1 point on a interesting call.
Yeah.
Let's call it that. Interesting call. So who's the biggest surprise that's going to be a freshman for you? Do you have one that stand out so far? Or?
I think we've got 3 or 4 that are pretty good. it'll be interesting every night to see. Our 2 players from Oklahoma were recruited at a high level, and then Alva coming from overseas. 6'4", that can shoot threes, really good. Crystal really gives us some length at the guard position, and she's played against some tough players in high school and club ball. So I love seeing our depth at that position, and the 4 freshmen. I think any of them could step up at any night and give us some great minutes.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you have that many freshmen that can contribute, you're not counting on the one. So if one has a bad night, you have other people that can pick you up.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, just throughout practice, you can see the combinations that we have and being able to score at different levels, and our positions, are pretty solid all the way through. And I think we do have more depth this year. So, last year we had to rely on 2 or 3 players. This year it could be 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right. Lynn Kennedy joined us for the first half of the show in the PokeCast. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Southwest Louisiana Credit Union. Southwest Louisiana Credit Union now offers an account just for McNeese students. It's the Blue and Gold checking account. All it takes is $5 to get you in. You get a free debit card, online and mobile banking, and access to a smart ATMs. There's no service charge. You can even get free financial counseling. That's why Southwest Louisiana Credit Union is now the official credit union for McNeese students and McNeese Athletics. Find out more at swlacu.com. To open a Blue and Gold checking account, go by Southwest Louisiana Credit Union at 4056 Ryan Street, about a block away from campus. Membership is required. As the oldest athletic booster organization at McNeese, the McNeese Cowboy Club is proud to continue providing support to all McNeese athletes for 49 years. We meet every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. in the Cowboy Club room located over the south end zone with talks from coaches and other leaders in McNeese athletics. Come join us and discover what being a McNeese athletic booster is all about. And go Pokes.
We're back at Mr. Bill's. Will Wade is joining us for the second half. You could have brought your dinner over.
I was trying to finish it quickly.
Oh, you could have brought it. It's just television. Don't worry about it. People would pay to watch Will Wade eat in this town. How's that?
I doubt that.
It's your world, man. It's your world. We're just happy to be a part of it.
I doubt that.
We're just happy to be a part of your world. Will Wade is joining us.
Did you win any money yesterday at the casino?
Will Wade is joining us.
You don't answer my questions?
We have issues.
Did you win any yesterday?
I didn't lose any because they gave you the little card. And if they'd given me more cards, I would have lost more money, but it wasn't my money to lose. So I broke even without paying anything. How's that?
It's admirable.
Okay. My gambling habits do not need to be discussed. Okay, Coach, let's talk about a lot of things with you. Yesterday was Media Day. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, they're all the same.
They're all the same.
Just about, yeah.
Well, that was the first Media Day the Southland Conference has
I thought
ever
the
had.
Southland did a really good job with it. I thought, you were there. I thought the stage and the studio and the room were impressive, and the side stages where the players were really cool, and then just the content car wash and all the things that they did, I thought were really, really good and really, really high level. I thought Christian, I know Shoemate had a great time, and it felt, it felt big time. So I thought the league did a really, really good job with it.
If you have questions for Coach, just step up to the microphone and give your name and your question.
Maybe Leighton's got a question.
He hid. He
Huh?
hid. You go. You point out. You embarrass the poor guy.
No.
All right. So during this whole time, as we get close to now closing in on basketball season actually starting, are you getting excited, getting ramped up, getting that feel to get back in it?
I'm always excited, Jim.
What is that?
We're excited every day.
Why?
Well, because what we did in the summer has got to, we work every day like the season's right around the corner. So,
all right.
Certainly, as it gets closer, we got scrimmages. We play somebody else. We've got a little bit more, pop to you, a little more enthusiasm about things. But we try to work every day like it's.
You're picked for second in the league. Now you said that's not a big deal, but for McNeese, that's the first time.
I was being nice there. I was trying to be politically correct.
Why? What's wrong with second?
Huh?
Are you upset you were second?
I'm not saying I'm upset we were second. I'm just.
Okay, I'm just going with the flow here.
I mean, you like coming in second place?
No, but it's a pick. Nobody cares about the picks.
I know, I'm just saying.
You said it great yesterday. It doesn't matter where we start.
Yeah, it matters where you finish. Yeah.
Nobody. What was it? Nobody watches the end of the movie.
No, everybody watches the end of the movie. They remember the end of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, so it doesn't matter. But my question to you is this: you have 3 players on the first and second team.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good which is really good for McNeese. But are you surprised
by that? It's really
good
for any team.
Yes, but are you surprised by that? And considering one of them.
No, I thought we should add more.
It's great. One of them, though.
What? You asked me my opinion.
You want all 10? You want all 10 spots?
Not all 10, but
they haven't played a minute in the league yet.
Okay.
Give them a chance to play a little bit.
All right.
But the interesting thing about that is the player that is most feared and the pro prospect is Shahidi.
Shahade.
Okay,
Shahade.
He hasn't played a game yet. I'm still in football mode.
Shahade.
So when
you're gonna know his name you're gonna know his name quick.
I'm gonna know his name now if you keep.
Shahade Wells.
But when you have something like that,
he's a stud
that hasn't played yet in a league.
He hadn't played yet in the league. Yeah, in this league, yeah. He only averaged 7 in the Big 12 and 18 in the Sun Belt.
Yes, I understand that. I'm trying to get to a point here. My question is then, what does that mean about the team? Because obviously they have already respected what you've got and what you've brought in.
No, I don't follow you. I mean, he's damn good. What else you want him to know?
What is?
I mean, he's really good. I mean, what else? What else are they talking about?
You were so polite yesterday to me. You were very.
I'm
nice
polite now. I mean, he's a stud.
So on this team.
He's a stud.
How many guys?
And Garcia, who's on the second team, is a stud. And Shoemate, everybody knows what Shoemate can do. And I'm not going to talk. We got 2 or 3 others that are really, really good too.
How good are you then?
Good.
Okay, so
very good.
So then you're sticking with your 23 plus 1.
Yeah.
Okay, this is you.
I'm sticking with 23 plus, like I said. Yeah.
Okay, so we can now say that.
Yeah, 23 plus.
All right, so when you look at the league, how good do you think this league is, and how much do you think you're looking forward to playing in it, and especially looking at the end of the year and how good you'll be? I tried to get them all in before you interrupted me.
Look, I think the league, you don't know what everybody's got. I mean, I was doing a little bit more research today on Southeastern's roster, like with the point guard they brought Eastman, just trying to get a feel for kind of who, what, when, where. All their returning parts, because I haven't paid much attention to it. Coach Chambers, my assistant who's here, I mean, he knows every moving part of every team in the league. But I don't know as much about them. I try to focus. I feel like this. I don't know much about everybody else, but I feel like if we focus in on ourselves and we maximize everything that we got, I don't really care what the rest of them got. Because I feel confident with what we've got and the crew that we've got. And so if we can focus on ourselves, and this is not some coach speak BS, but this is the truth. If we get our guys playing to a high level and playing how they're capable of playing and playing together, what everybody else got's irrelevant.
What do you see when you see the chemistry in the team so far? They haven't played yet, obviously. But what have you seen it coming together?
It's great. I mean, it's great right now. We hadn't handed out playing time. We hadn't handed out starting spots. I mean, so everybody loves each other. We sit around and sing Kumbaya all afternoon at the campfire. But, I mean, look, I do think we've got enough equity built up. We've got enough deposits in the bank that when we do have to hand things out and make some tough decisions for the greater good of the group, I think we'll be able to withstand it, and we'll be just fine. As you probably know, I'm pretty direct when I do that. I say, look, here's what you've earned, here's what it is, and here's what we expect you to do. And if you don't want to do this, I'll take it to the next guy who will do it and take your minutes. So you can either take it now or leave it.
You mentioned Christian Shoemate yesterday about the difference he's been kind of as a leadership role in that. Yeah. He talked more yesterday than he's probably talked all year. What's kind of the role he's become, and how much has he embraced coming back?
I feel it's he's been incredible, and I'm worried. I'm a little bit concerned, worried that I've tried to make him a leader and not make him a leader. He's earned the right to be a leader with how he's played and how he's carried himself since he's been here. But I've got him so worried about talking to everybody else and doing that. He's not being himself in some respects. So we've got to find and I appreciate it because he's doing everything I've asked and then some. But we also got to make sure he's not doing everything that we're asking at the detriment of himself, because we still need him to be the same player that he's been and the player that he was at the end of the season, which he's fully capable of being, and he's been playing really, really well. But I want to make sure we don't put too much on him that
he's not himself.
That interferes with him doing what he does best, where he's having to think about stuff and not just playing and free flowing and that sort of thing.
And be his game. You want him to still play his game, obviously.
Correct.
Yeah. What about everybody else? Is everybody passed to get in, or are you worried about anybody not being able to get in through the NC transfer portal on that, or?
We got 2 guys that we're still working on. So I feel really good about one of them. We feel good about both of them, and we'll know something here in the next couple of weeks. So we're just waiting on that.
So when you look at this team, now you're picking up a program that lost 23 games last year. So you're trying to flip that record completely. But what have you seen as far as how the ones that were here before bought in? Because you still have 4 kids that were here on scholarship that bought in. Have they bought into everything you got?
I don't look at it as buy-in, because I think that's you'll find out. I don't like the term culture. I don't like the term buy-in. I don't like it. That's all relative.
What do you like then?
Huh?
What do you like then?
Standards.
Okay, have they bought into your have they accepted your standards?
If they wouldn't, they wouldn't still be here.
But you took them. You had a good year for the weight room this year.
We had a good year. We put on a lot of weight. Our strength coach has done a really, really good job. I think they're adhering to what we're asking them to do. Our athletic trainers here tonight, and they're getting better with treatment. They were all in there today getting treatment without me just dragging them in there to make sure they were taking care of their bodies and doing what they need. I was texting with Shahade last night, and he was texting me back, and he texted me a picture of him wearing his boots. So he was doing recovery at home last night while we were texting on some film and that sort of thing. So I think we're getting a better sense of what it takes to win and how difficult it is to win, and all the little things and all the details that you have to do to win. And that's my job, is to make sure everybody's doing the little things and doing the details that are needed for us to be successful.
How anxious are you after last year to get back on the bench and get going?
I'm excited. It'll be that's what you like to do. It's fun. I enjoy the practices way more than I enjoy the games and kind of the day-to-day interaction. That stuff's a lot more fun than the games. But it'll certainly be fun, with the Legacy Center having good crowds and playing big games, and hopefully we can be in the conference title race down the stretch. There's nothing better than that, with just in terms of engaging fans, engaging a community, that sort of stuff. So we're excited about that. I'm excited about that.
And you said you loved the move to Monday night.
I love it. I wish we'd moved the other games off Saturday, but that's just my opinion.
When would you want to play?
Friday.
So you want to go Friday, Monday, or Friday, Sunday?
Yes. I think we should play. If you're in a league like this, you can't do what everybody else does. You're just going to get drowned out. So you've got to go. The least amount of college basketball games are played on Fridays and Mondays. So if you want exposure, and if you want, look, is a little bit. He's probably cringing over there as I'm talking, but is it a little bit? Is a little bit off that you're not playing? Yeah, it is. Does it interfere with height? Yeah, it does. But if you're talking about strictly exposure for the kids, Friday, and getting a little bit better officiating, Friday and Mondays are the.
You don't worry about officiating, do you?
No, not much. But if you play Fridays and Mondays, those are the best 2 nights to play, just in terms of, it's just supply and demand. There's not as many games, and you can, you've got a better chance of exposure. For example, last year when I was looking at stuff, A&M Commerce played Nichols on a Monday night. Have I told you this before?
Yesterday, but not everybody else.
So A&M Commerce played Nichols on a Monday night. It got moved because there was like an ice storm in Dallas.
Yeah.
So it got moved off of a Thursday, Saturday, or whatever the games were. A&M Commerce made 2 great plays. They had 2 plays on the SportsCenter top 10 on Monday night. If that game's on Saturday, those 2 plays are not on SportsCenter top 10. There's 100 other plays they've got to choose from.
Yeah.
But on Monday night, Commerce got on SportsCenter top 10 because there was 8 basketball games that night. And you got NHL hockey or whatever else is going on during the time. And so it's just supply and demand.
Yeah.
And so the same thing that wouldn't even make it to the cutting room floor on Saturday is number 4 in the country on Monday. So if you did that on Friday and Monday, everybody gets exposure. It's good for every team in the league, in my opinion. You could probably get more games on linear TV. I'm sure you heard they picked up one of our games on linear TV. Oh, what is it? A Monday night game. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Monday night game. It's going to be on ESPN linear at Texas A&M Corpus Christi because we play on Monday. If we could play on Fridays and Mondays, we'd have a bunch of games on TV.
Yeah.
But what do I know?
Apparently a lot.
I'm not always right, but I'm always sure.
Apparently how to pronounce names better than me, apparently. That's a big thing. When we come back with Coach Will Wade, we're going to talk about the Southland and his team and some other things after this.
The McNeese PokeCast is also brought to you by Twisted Vines. They offer residential and commercial lawn and landscaping maintenance, irrigation and drainage installation and repairs, outdoor landscaping, lighting, holiday and event light installation also with 3D drawings. Contact Ryan Boyd at 337-274-2267 or email info@twistedvineslc.com. Like them on Facebook and follow on Instagram at twistedvineslc. If you mention you heard the Twisted Vines on the podcast, you will receive a 10% discount off your purchase. And Pompelli Tire, official tire store of McNeese Athletics. Experts in tires, EV-specific tires as well. We do more than just tires, mechanical work as well. A full-time mechanic is on site at all times to help in your needs.
We're back with Will Wade. You got any questions? Step up to the microphone. Ask the McNeese new men's basketball coach who's hit
Am I still new?
Yeah, until you play a game, until you coach a game, until you lose a game. How's that?
Yeah.
So you could be new up until, mid-March and win it all. You go 34-0.
I'm not coaching the first 10. You forgot about that? I'm on sabbatical the first 10.
Are you going to do a Mike Krzyzewski, and if you win the games, you count them on your record?
No, they don't count.
If they lose, they go on somebody else's record?
They don't count, no.
All right.
No.
All right, yes, you have a 10-game, what do we call it, suspension, sabbatical? What are you calling it?
Suspension, I think, is the correct term.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you were happy with
corrective action.
Which leads me to this question, since you said it's okay.
Did you see the stuff with Kansas today? How about that?
I was going to ask you that, but you jumped to it.
How about that? Good for the Jayhawks.
The Payhawks? They were called the Payhawks.
Oh,
today.
the Jayhawks. I like the Jayhawks. I was happy
what
for
are your
them.
thoughts
I hope
with
they
that?
win it all this year. Again,
What are your
second
thoughts
time
on
in
that?
3 years. I mean, look, you get it looked at by independent people, and they apply logic to things that other people don't apply logic to. And so I'm happy for them. They're unscathed, and they can roll right onto the national title.
Unscathed. They got to take down their Final Four banner.
They don't have to take down their national title banner.
No, just the Final Four banner.
They got plenty of those at Kansas. They'll be all right. They'll live.
You're saying they're not too worried about that?
They'll live. I don't think they're going to lose any sleep over that.
Okay, why did you pick McNeese? I think a lot of people ask me that question about why did you choose McNeese over some of the other options you might have had. And we don't really have to bow down to Heath Schroyer at this point in time and tell great Heath Schroyer stories. Why here?
Well, I mean, that's where it starts. I mean, look, I think Dr. Roos is walking around here somewhere, if he's still here. There he is over there. We've got, we've got incredible leadership. You got to have people you trust. It's one thing I learned. You got to have people you trust. And Coach Schroyer is somebody I trust. Dr. Roos, the whole administration, like those are people that you trust. And it's a place it's an area I'm familiar with. It's people I'm familiar with, and look, we want to win. And at the end of the day, you want to go somewhere where you get the best chance to win. I know we hadn't done that, but we've got a very good chance to win, and we're gonna win. But you want to go somewhere where you can win and you can make an impact. And I thought that this is a place that we can win, and I think it's a place that hopefully we can make an impact with our program and how we do things.
You talk a lot about that it's an ideal situation for a coach because you only have to win 2 home. If you get the right seeding, you only have to win 2 games on your home floor to get into the NCAA tournament. There's no other place in the country where that path is that way. What does that mean?
It's huge. I mean, look, the whole thing's getting a path to the NCAA tournament, and this is as good a path as anybody has to the NCAA tournament in Division I basketball, and especially in a 1-bid league. I mean, there's no better path in a 1-bid league. So.
And you got it for 7 years.
We're going to take our chances, yeah. You should have seen we were in the head coaches meeting the day before before the media day. And I don't think some of them knew that the thing got extended. I guess they I don't know what. Maybe they just wanted to forget about it or wanted to act like it didn't happen or whatever. And one of the assistant commissioners said, "Yeah, it's there till 2029." And I was sitting next to one of the coaches. He looked at me and said, 2029? I said, "Oh yeah, buddy." I said, "You missed that news release."
You were probably a big hit then.
I said, "Get comfortable in Lake Charles. Better find you somewhere to stay nice."
You were a big hit.
Huh?
So you were a big hit in the room then.
Oh, they were thrilled to see me. Always are.
You didn't answer this at the press
Always
conference
are.
the one day.
I'm the only person least popular than Heath at the meetings. Since he fleeced all of them for the good of the school.
Yeah, but you never answered. Did any of them compliment you and credit you and say congratulations for getting them all there?
Hell no. Look, there ain't but 2 of them in the league I even talked to. The rest of them, the hell with them. So there's not but
way to make friends.
Huh?
Way to make friends.
Jim, you only need 6 friends in life. Did you know that?
No, where's that?
You need 6 friends in life. You know that?
I know what you're leaning to now because I figure you only need 6 people to carry you off at the end.
Carry your casket. That's all you need. So if you got 5, you're going to be tilted a little bit. But you need 6.
It's an interesting philosophy.
So I'm not trying to pick up I'll need to pick up any new friends here soon.
That's okay.
I got plenty. I got 6. I'll be all right.
You're one of the coach.
You pivoted off that pretty quick.
I'm trying to get my mind off of it. Because I don't have 6 friends, and I'm a lot closer to it than you probably, so it's a little concerning right now for me.
You should be a little nicer then.
I need to pick up some friends at least just to carry me home at the end.
Yeah. I'll carry you. I'll grab one side of it.
That's great, thanks. I don't even know where I'm going now. I was going to go to this. The interesting thing about the league is nobody really cared about McNeese until you got here, kind of. They kind of...
Yeah, we're the lovable losers.
Yes, and you had a nice arena, and we'll come play there. And
nice,
now
cute
all
little
of a
people.
sudden, now all of a sudden, you're like the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
What does that persona do for you as far as when you go in to recruit now other kids? Because you can now say, look, we're the hunted.
I mean, look, I said this yesterday. I mean, all the kids that came, they knew what they were signing up for. You come play for us here, you know what you're getting into. You know the deal. And so the kids that we get, or the kids that are attracted to us, or the kids that like us in recruiting are going to be guys that have a chip on their shoulder and guys that that understand what they're getting into and are excited about that. So it doesn't affect us one way or the other.
You love the portal.
Oh yeah.
What do you like about it?
I just think it evens everything out. I mean, look, our best players are probably going to get poached. That's just the way it works. So we've got to have a way to replace those players, and the portal's a good way to replace them.
So
I'm cool with it.
You're good with the 1 year, and if they leave,
hell yeah, we'll go find another one. If they want to leave after a year, we'll go find somebody else. I mean, that's just the way it works.
Okay, so now that we've established that in basketball.
You want to know something interesting? You want to hear a part of our recruiting pitch?
What?
So we had the kid Tari Eason.
Okay.
Plays for the Houston Rockets now. He's the 17th pick in the draft. We had him at LSU. He transferred from Cincinnati. He averaged 6 points a game at Cincinnati, 17 points a game at LSU. He's the only in the history of the transfer portal. He's the only guy who's transferred and done 1 year at the next school and been drafted in the first round.
Well, that's pretty good.
So why wouldn't we want to try to find some more like him? And I look at it this way here. We get a kid who goes in the transfer portal. He wants to come here. He wants to graduate from McNeese for a year. Then he can go back high major if he does a good enough job here. And I'll go find the next him to go do the next thing. Why not?
All right. Okay, let me ask. You are now in the...
What? I'm asking why not?
You're asking me questions. I'm not supposed to be answering questions.
Huh?
That's fine. That's fine.
I thought this was a give and take.
It's not a give and take. I give and you take. This is not a back and forth. I don't. Nobody cares what I think.
Sure they do.
But
if they didn't care what you think, they wouldn't give you a column every week.
Anyway. As we move on.
Right?
How much of your decision to come here, and how much of a benefit is it to have the arena you do have and the facilities you have on a mid-major level?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, the facilities are tremendous, and just everything. I mean, it's not just everybody sees the arena, but to have a practice court, to be able to get in the gym, and you've been in there and you see our guys working out all throughout the day. We always have a basket or a court where we can work guys out. Our weight room is really, really nice. Our training room is extremely nice. I mean, just it's all this. Our offices. I actually have an office in the same building as the gym. Imagine that. And like you can
oversee the.
I can oversee stuff. Yeah, it's not. I mean, the arena's phenomenal. That's that's the front porch that everybody sees. But the behind the scenes stuff is as good or better than the arena. It allows you to function as a program that is, that's very efficient. I mean, you look at the best companies in the world. It's all about efficiency, and we can be efficient because of how our facility is.
I'm sorry. It's an Acura. It's not my Acura. There's an Acura outside with the horn going off. If it's your car. Is it your car, Coach?
No.
Okay.
I drive a beautiful Toyota from Lake Charles Toyota. They're a sponsor.
We don't need to have all the sponsors get in here.
I'm just saying.
You said something interesting yesterday that I thought was pretty interesting when I asked you about pressure. And
only one thing interesting?
Pretty much. No. One thing. I'm just getting to these things. Why do you question when I have a question for you? You break up my rhythm here. You said something about, when I asked you about pressure, you said you feel kind of the pressure to give back to the community that's embraced you. Can I kind of elaborate on that and what that means to you, that kind of how they've brought you in?
Well, everybody here's been so good. You asked about the pressure to win based on everything else that's going on in the athletic department or whatnot. And look, we always have pressure to win. We want to win for our players, win for everything. But I do feel like my wife and daughter are here tonight. That I do feel like we owe it. Our fans are incredible fans, and they've been through a lot. I mean, we hadn't won very much in football lately. We hadn't won very much in basketball lately. Like, we hadn't won very much, period, in those sports. And they still come out and support. We led the league in attendance in basketball last year, and we lost all the time. And so I feel like, those people have embraced us and welcomed us with open arms, and they deserve for something good to happen. They spend their money, they come every night, like they deserve to win. And I do feel a pressure to deliver for those folks and make sure that we that we're a source of pride for folks, and we win for the community and show our appreciation for their support. I mean, to support us through all the tough times that we've had. I mean, they deserve something. They deserve something good to happen. Yeah. And hopefully we can certainly do that this season.
Did you hear yesterday that the coaches in the league would like to let you use your own locker room during the tournament, no matter what the seeds?
Yeah, they were complaining about that. I wanted to tell them I'm going to be the damn higher seed, so you don't have to worry about it. But I didn't say that in the thing.
What do you mean? You really didn't say that?
No, I was thinking that, but I wanted to say y'all ain't going to have to worry about that. Y'all had to worry about that last year because we were the damn 7 or 8 seed, weren't we? What were we? The 8
7
seed.
7,
8
7,
seed.
8 seed.
Yeah, if we're the better seed, we can use our own locker room every game, can't we? Because the best seed has the locker room, right?
Yes. That would
All right, so what the hell are we worried about?
I'm not worried about it. If you're not worried about it, I feel good. How's that?
Perfect.
'Cause it's 23 plus.
Yeah.
We're holding you to 23 plus.
All right.
All right. Will Wade's been our guest in the second half of the PokeCast. Or maybe I was his guest. I don't know. He kind of changed everything around here. We'll see you next week on the McNeese PokeCast.